are in Munich, Germany, and we're about to do a German food tour.
Just a quick heads up, we've just got a new camera, literally like 3 days ago, so we're still learning how to use this thing. But please do let us know in the comments down below if you can notice any sort of a difference in quality compared to our previous videos.
And now it's time to find breakfast.
We are Sarah and Marek. In October 2020, we left our home country of South Africa and set out to see the world using budget travel strategies to make our travels last as long as possible. From working on a traditional winery in Georgia, to a sailboat in Turkey, to attempting to hitchhike over 1,800 kilometers in 4 days, our budget travels have by no means been boring or uneventful. We can't wait to see what's next.
Alright, we've just arrived at our first spot. You ready? Jokes, not really. We've been walking for half an hour already. Can we just get there already?
I'm hungry! It's already 20 past 11. We kind of had a late start to the day.
After a full 40 minutes of walking, we have just arrived.
We're starting the day off right by ordering a classic Bavarian breakfast, which consists of Weisswurst, which is basically white sausage, a pretzel, that's Brezl, and a beer. Let's hope I can carry on a food tour after this beer.
Now when we asked people about this Weisswurst, what's inside of it, all they said was, don't worry, don't think about it, just eat it. And the traditional way that you're supposed to eat it is by basically sucking the meat out from the casing.
I'll be the first to say, this does not look appetizing, but when you put it with the sweet mustard sauce, it doesn't taste like what it looks like. That's all I'll say. It actually tastes really good.
Alright, but now it's time for the Brezl or the Brezl. The only way I can describe what this tastes like is, you know those pretzels that you buy in the shops, like in the plastic packets, those almost like biscuit type things? Well, it tastes exactly the same, except it's all nice and fluffy and like bready on the inside. This is also so good. With a little bit of salt sprinkled over the top of it, it is excellent. It felt a bit strange at first ordering a beer for breakfast, but then you have a look around you and you see that every single person is having a beer as well. So it definitely makes you feel a whole lot better. But otherwise, that was a very good start to this food tour. I'd say that my favorite part is definitely the pretzel or the Brezl. It's very good. There's no other way to describe it.
Funny enough, I actually really enjoyed the sausage. I think since traveling and trying all these weird and unusual foods, it's definitely opened me up to trying more things, because previously I would have taken one look at that white looking strange sausage and just been like, hell no. But I actually quite enjoyed it, especially with that sweet mustard. It was really, really good.
But seeing that we're spending such a little bit of time here in Munich, instead of this just being a food tour, we thought that we would turn this one into a bit of a sightseeing tour as well. We saw a pretty cool statue on the way here. Let's take a quick walk over there. And before we show you that statue, we just walked past a restaurant with an item that's not necessarily on our list, but we saw a picture of it and it looks pretty cool. And that's the place right here. We just have to give it a little try. Ooh. Now this is something called Bratwurst. It's basically like a smoked grilled sausage in a roll with some mustard. Very simple, but it looks delicious. Oh my goodness. That is so good. Oh.
What's it like?
No time for talking. I honestly think that's better than the meal we just ate. And then I was at like a proper restaurant. And this is a little hole in the wall type restaurant. This is so nice. So simple, so full of flavor. The mustard and the sausage all just works together so well. The sausage is very like heavy and rich, but then the mustard just brings a nice little kick of flavor, a little bit of tanginess. And you get the roll over here as well that just like keeps it all together. Amazing.
I also want to taste some. I agree with your verdict. This is really good.
Okay, pit stop over. Time to get back to that statue. This statue behind us right here, cast entirely of bronze and standing at 18 meters high, is Bavaria, and she's the patroness of the state of Bavaria, which is the province of the state that we are in currently. Something pretty interesting is that she was ordered to be created by King Ludwig I, and she actually took so long to be made that by the time she was finished, he was no longer king, and the original creator had actually passed. Crazy. Something that's also pretty crazy is that we're here in Munich during the time of Oktoberfest. Like Oktoberfest was supposed to be happening right now, and we're in Munich, which is the center of Oktoberfest in Germany. And here in this huge open field around us would usually be masses of beer tents and people and just carnival rides, and now all that it's home to really is just this PCR test center behind us. And this just shows the times that we're in currently.
Another long walk, but I'm really excited for this one. This stop is more of a sweet treats kind of stop, which I'm very excited about. And the first item that we'll be trying is called a Krapfen, which is basically a donut without a hole. Let's give it a try. Yum. That's a good donut. Light, fluffy, nice and sweet from all the sugar everywhere. I don't think there's anything inside. I was wrong. I think it's jam. Gotta get some jam in there. Look at that. That's a good strappen.
Our next item on the menu is something called Schmalznudel. Honestly, I have no idea what it is, but we've been advised to taste it, so we're gonna give it a go. In English, it is called a fat noodle. Interesting. Very light, but crispy on the outside. Doesn't seem to be a filling. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about that one. It doesn't really taste like much. It's kind of like a deep fried piece of bread, really. Piece of dough. It's not bad, but it's different.
There's nothing to it.
There's nothing much to it. I think that's the best way to describe it, really. It's a deep fried piece of dough. Very light dough, but it's still a deep fried piece of dough. So we're just sitting here and thinking about this, and by itself the Schmalznudel is actually very plain. There's really nothing much to it, but we think paired with something like a very strong coffee or a pretty sweet tea will actually go down very nicely.
I would say the whole draw of that restaurant in particular is that they literally make these fresh, deep-fried bundles of joy right there where you order. You can watch them making it, you can watch them manipulating the dough, deep frying it, and then they bring it out to you freshly made. And the donut I loved. It was fresh and soft and fluffy and just the perfect mixture of sweet and savory. Although we can't say much, well, I call it a donut. It's a Krapfen. Krapfen. So the Krapfen was really good, and although we can't say much for the Schmalznudel, I would say you just, if you feel like something on the side with a cup of coffee, something that's not really that flavoursome, just sort of there and deep fried dough.
Something to nibble on, really.
Something to nibble on.
Yeah. That's
Then you go for that.
Snack.
Yeah.
But it's actually getting pretty cold. The high for today is only 12 degrees Celsius. So we're on the way to find something that they refer to as German comfort food.
Ooh, that sounds yummy. We just walked just over a kilometer and we're about to walk into our next restaurant. We opted to sit outside at the last restaurant and I definitely regretted that. So we're feeling pretty cold and ready for some nice German comfort food. And we're definitely sitting inside this time, if we can. Hello. Just as an extra little nugget of information, here in Germany, in terms of COVID regulations, they use something called the 3G rule, and the 3Gs stand for vaccinated, recovered, or tested. And for us, luckily, we were able to get fully vaccinated, and then in Germany, we downloaded the Pass app, and we use this barcode to get into public spaces, to freely move around, go into every restaurant that we've been going to today. So it's good to know that if you are interested in coming to visit Germany, it's a good thing to keep in mind.
This little delicacy is called Käsespätzle. And when they first put it down onto the table, all you could smell was just a waft of heavy cheese. So this is basically eggs, noodles, German cheese, and caramelized onion that is put into the oven, baked until it gets this nice brown, crispy topping, and then delivered to you for your enjoyment. Together with that, you get a nice little salad as well. It smells beautiful. That is actually so good. So the word Spätzle is actually a German noodle. Now they make it here specifically in Germany, and you can see it's quite a nice thick, it's this length, it's very good. And more than just like the cheese that you taste in the initial bite, you get the nice chewiness of this noodle. And it tastes very freshly, like homemade. It's very good. And together with this, you get the nice bites of the chives and the parsley and the nice crunchiness from being baked and the cheese hardening. It's altogether a very good dish, and it definitely is comfort food. Together with the Käsespätzle, it's tradition to eat it together with a beer.
Straight back out into the cold.
That Käsespätzle is actually one of the best dishes, actually the best dish that we had the entire day. It was so good. But we are starting to feel quite full now, but luckily we have our longest walk of the day to get us hungry for the next spot. Let's go. Every person that we spoke to and said that we're coming to Munich said that we had to check out this one thing. This is a Rathaus-Glockenspiel.
Wow, that was a long song and very interesting to see. Honestly, it's worth coming out here to see and making sure you come at the right time of day. What I will say is the music sounds kind of like it could have come straight off the soundtrack of a horror movie.
Okay. Time to go find our next restaurant.
Yum! After all the food, you would think that we would be done with eating, but I'm still just as excited about the next one.
Time for something nice and sweet.
I didn't know I was most excited to try this one until it arrived. It looks incredible. It's called something like You're leaving me out of my own here. It's called Kaiserscharrn, and it's basically a big pancake, and then it's also got some raisins in there, and it's first baked in an oven and then it's fried up in a pan, and I just can't wait to taste it. It also comes along with some apple and some prune, stewed plum and some stewed apple. How do I do this? Do I just take a chunk like that? What am I even eating? The pancake's gone a little bit crunchy in some places, but squishy, mushy, warm in other places. The raisins is like a soft flavor that adds to it. Wow, amazing. I just got the rum. There's also a little bit of rum in here. So good.
It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit eggy, it's a little bit doughy, there's a little bit of rum in it. There's just such a lot of flavors and all of it's so complex, but just working together so nicely. You can see just how thick it is. It's a proper bite, it's a proper mouthful, and it doesn't even look like a pancake anymore. It's just amazing. And honestly, you could eat this all day. As you can see, we struggled to finish that behemoth of a dish, and as such, we needed to get a takeaway. Also, our waiter said that this dish is really nice in the morning, so we're looking forward to this for breakfast. It's time to make our way and start heading out towards our last restaurant for the day. And honestly, this is the one that I'm the most excited for. It has got dark so fast, and we need to try and catch the subway to get to the last restaurant. Fair zones, see poster. Okay, U3, U6, zone M, whatever that.
Yeah, this look right.
Yes!
Yay!
Got it. Okay.
Well, that was easy. Expensive, but easy. Let's go eat some more. And our final stop is the world famous Hofbräuhaus.
Honestly, this poor guy had no chance of getting his voice above the immense amount of noise that was coming out of that place. It was intense. So we thought that we would just talk about our experience while showing you the dishes that we ate and drank. Now you can't come to the Hofbräuhaus and not have a traditional German beer in a 1 liter stein. This thing is huge and weighs so much. But cue the first of a couple of thumbs ups. Okay, but the star of the show is something called a Schweinshaxe, which is basically a roast pork cock. Can we just take a second to appreciate this massive layer of crackling that we had to cut through to get to the meat itself? Okay, but meat is cut, we're ready to go. And it goes. Waiting, waiting. Oh, the reaction says it all. That was amazing. This little bite of love is something called a Knoödel, which is basically a potato dumpling. It is amazing. It is soft, it is stretchy, and together with that rich, dark sauce that you can see on the plate is absolutely amazing. And it's something that I'll forever remember fondly.
The drool.
Too much.
That it is something that I will forever remember fondly.
But lest we forget that blessed old crackling, let's listen for the crunch. Oh, touchdown.
And now it's my turn to try this after all the hype. Let's see if it lives up to that. Okay, wow. Yes, that is delicious.
Oh, definitely. Double thumbs up for an amazing meal.
I was trying to capture the impressive skills of the staff at the Hofbräuhaus, and little did I know I was about to see one of the most impressive beer delivery handling things I have ever seen and probably ever will see in my entire life.
Just bear in mind that each one of these steins weighs about 5 pounds or about 2.2 kgs each, and we counted anywhere between 10 and 13 of them, and he was trying to carry all of them by himself.
He could barely fit them into his hands.
No, he's playing around with it. No, he can't possibly. No, don't mess with us.
Oh my gosh! There's even a mug stacked on top of another mug.
No, that is so impressive.
Insane.
Cheers to you, Hofbräuhaus staff. Real heroes don't always wear capes.
What an atmosphere! It was crazy in there! Oh my goodness! And that wraps up our food tour.
So my favorite dish for the day, hands down, is definitely the Käsespätzle, contrary to popular belief. I also thought that my favorite would be the Schweinshaxe that we just had. Now that was very good, don't get me wrong, but the Käsespätzle was just so much better.
And my favorite has to be, oh damn it, the name goes out of my head every time. Kaiserschmarrn.
Kaiserscharrn.
Kaiserschmarrn. That is just one of the most unique desserts I've ever tasted, and it's just delicious. And I'm so stoked because we have leftovers that we'll be eating for breakfast in the morning.
Now this is definitely hands down our most expensive food tour yet.
Yeah.
But it was such a good experience. We can say without doubt that we walked all over Munich today.
Everywhere. We walked over 30,000 steps.
Which is about 25 kilometers.
Crazy.
That is ridiculous.
We've actually had people comment on some of our food videos in the past and ask how we managed to eat so much in one day. And all I can say is walking from place to place really ups your appetite. So, I mean, we were ready.
Especially after today.
Yes. Every time we got to a new restaurant or the next restaurant, we were ready for the next meal.
We didn't anticipate that we'd be walking this much today.
No, and it wasn't all planned. We definitely had some missteps in there. But if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. It really, really helps us out a lot, and it lets us know what videos you guys enjoy. Please let us know in the comments which of the foods we tried you would want to try or you think would be your favorite. And of course, subscribe so you can join us on all our adventures and food adventures in the future and in all the countries we plan on going to. And we'll see you guys back this coming Tuesday. Can you tell I forgot what I was saying? I was like, I forgot something.